Okay, so I'm going to go over how to use Unifi here at DAS. So you can find Unifi in the add-ins folder here, and you can hit this little auto start thing, and you can tell it to start automatically when you start up Revit. So I usually leave that on. Yeah. If you click Unifi, it's going to pop up this other browser. Bring this over here. It'll log in if you don't have your credentials already. Just add those there. So your portal might look a little bit different than mine because I have kind of the admin options, but really the bulk of what you're going to use Unifi for is going to be in this Browse Content tab here. So there's two different sides of the content library in Unifi. There's the libraries and the channels. So libraries are DAS items that we've curated ourselves. So we're still working to build this out, but if we go in here to the systems library, this is going to have things that are systems families in Revit. So ceilings, floors, roofs, walls, fill patterns. They're going to keep adding stuff in here. And then if you go into the DAS families library, again, this is still pretty bare for now, but these are all organized by Revit category. So let's go back and just take a look first at our template file. So when you start up a project, let's say I go to make a wall. The way we've organized things, I just did WA for wall. The only walls that are really in this model are just a couple generic models, a 5-inch generic and a 12-inch generic. And then the curtain walls and stacked walls and things that come in automatically with Revit. So I can make that. Now let's say I wanted a more specific wall. I'm going to load that in through Unifi. So I'm going to go over here to Browse, go to the Systems library, go into Walls, and it's going to pull up all these options. There's a couple different ways to view this. You can change it over here and change it to like a row display, a sort of grid display, or just a list. I think this is kind of nice because you can sort of see the different makeups of the walls and things. So once I'm inside of here, let's say I wanted to search for something in particular. So I can use this filter option here, filter the name, and let's just say I want to find brick walls. I'll search for brick, and so it's going to, the wall naming system is going to be named by the type, the use of the wall, and the structure of the wall, and then it'll give you the rundown from the structure out to the face, the finished material. So I think this metal stud looks pretty good, so let's click on that. So really, it happens automatically, right? So what happened right there is as soon as I clicked on this, it automatically loaded it in. Now, the one thing to keep in mind that might happen is if you're in a command, like let's say I go into wall here, if I open up Unifi and try and load this one in, it's going to get kind of stuck, right? And the reason for that is because I'm in a command in Revit. So I need to escape out of that command, and then Unifi will finish loading that in. If I go back to WA for wall, here's that wall that I just loaded. Now you'll notice these are all sort of displaying with these crosshatch. That's because I have a coarse view level. If I switch this to medium, you'll start to see the layers of the wall. Now this is the generic one that's just sort of empty, and then these ones start to get more and more information to them. So that's the system and the DAS library content. Now the other side to Unifi is this channels content. So this is information that we're bringing in from third parties. Now, we don't actually curate this ourselves. We're just subscribing to the Bradley and the Herman Miller, Connier, and so on. A really handy one to keep in mind is this Autodesk out-of-the-box content library. There's a ton of information in here. Let this load for a second, but you get an idea of just how much stuff is in here. Now, things like tags and things, we don't really want to bring those in because we have our own DAS tags that are already loaded into the template. But there is some really nice stuff in here, in particular inside the detail items category. So if we go into, let's see if I can find it here. Detail items, here we are. We're going to open up this one. So here in detail items, you can see Revit has an absolute ton of information. It is kind of intense how much there is in here. So you can filter this out, and let's say we want to find a metal stud. So I'll just search for stud. And here we go, right? Bam. And so that's exactly what I'm looking for. Grab that. And it'll load it in. And once it's loaded, I can just place it right into my view. It'll actually start the command for you and everything. So there you go. That's just a sort of detail item of a stud. Move that out of the way. And so that was loaded in through this, through the add place a component. Now, this is a detail item, so we would have to go to annotate and then do detail component, and then here we are. So those are the channels. We can keep adding more and more channels as we go. In a future video, I'm going to go through the process of requesting content and uploading content. So we can actually use Unifi to bring information in from, you guys can upload your information to it, and then you can also ask for content to be created.